So one thing I'm kind of curious about is why was it that you even got started in the world of video? Like what was happening in your life, your business that prompted you to start looking for video solutions?
It started really with trying to connect with people, and my real estate coach kind of like suggested it, and then I kind of saw a difference. I got an amazing response, when I sent the video, especially with doing real estate in California. Kind of, I get a lot of inquiries from all over, so that was like the best, because then they can see you, they trust you, and it just makes everything so much easier.
Yeah. Were you
Definitely.
finding were you finding that before you were working with video? I'm guessing you were just having a hard time getting through to these people who were, these out of state inquiries.
Yeah. You know what? It was like a lot of like emails, follow up and follow up and follow up. But it was when I sent the video that it actually like, oh, they responded, right away. And for the most part, I was working a lot of like Zillow leads. So as you can imagine, they're sending a lot of requests to a lot of agents.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
I'm assuming a lot of agents didn't respond with video, so it started working out.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. Well, as you were
Yeah.
getting started with videos, I mean, the first video you ever sent, was it to one of these Zillow leads?
The first video I've ever sent, I think it was an invitation to an open house to all my database through BonBon.
Oh man, so you started with a blast out
Yeah.
of the whole database. That was your first video. Was that
Yeah,
intimidating?
yeah. That's like, oh my gosh, it was like 37 takes. You know how it is? It's like 37 takes. No, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. But,
Yeah,
so that was interesting.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So as you were first getting started with the video, what were some of the major hangups that you felt holding you back from using video more?
Trying to be perfect, it's like not trying to stick with the script, not mess up, trying to, just be perfect. And I think in one of the videos you say, if you're sending a text message, obviously, maybe you just shouldn't watch it. Maybe you should just send it. And I started doing that for a lot of the text message because I'm like, you know what, it's okay. I just have to get it done. And that just trying to be perfect.
Yeah,
That was a big hang up. I think I still struggle with that right now.
yeah. Did you early on? I mean, you mentioned that one video, but was it a pretty common thing early on for you to rewatch a lot of your videos and retake them a million times and end up wasting a lot of time on that?
Yes, and um, mm, you can ask anyone in my family, and they will tell you, okay, she's gonna take a video. It's like take 57 or something. My daughters, it's like, yeah, I need like an hour, please, to record like a 30-second video.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was interesting.
yeah.
Now, when I started getting, I'm like, oh my gosh, it only took me 5 takes. It's like, yes. That
Score.
was like a win, a win
Yeah,
in the book.
yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
No, I know how that goes. Actually, part of applying for a job at BombBomb is you have to send in a video, and that's where I work is at BombBomb. So you got to send in a video as
Cool.
part of the job. And I literally, I think, took about an hour to record my 60-second video. It's
Yeah,
oof, it's crazy.
totally, totally. I think one of the holiday videos was actually like, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And it was one of those like, you know what, forget it. It's like I kept saying the same thing, but
Yeah,
you're just trying to be perfect. So
yeah,
yeah, that's when I realized, you know what, this is not beneficial at this point.
yeah. Well,
I'm
I've
just gonna do it.
for myself, when I take videos for LinkedIn a fair amount now that I'm kind of getting this Ngari project up and running. I'll
Hmm.
take videos for the Ngari YouTube channel, a Facebook group, and I'll allow myself to re-record a video once. But I usually don't allow myself to go beyond that because I have found that I'll make some mistakes the first take, and I'll realize what those mistakes were, and
Yeah,
then the second take, when I go back through, I'll make sure I don't make those. But typically, if I don't like the second one and I do a third one, I just end up replacing the old mistakes for new mistakes, and I can keep re-recording till kingdom comes
really.
because I just keep
Oh
replaying.
my
I'll
gosh,
fix one
totally.
mistake, but then I'll make a new one. So usually for me, after two, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, stop it at that. For you, was it that kind of a cutoff, or did you feel like you
I
kept
think
getting
my
better for
cutoff was like 5.
5 days?
It's like,
All right, all
okay,
right.
okay, just one more. Yeah. But like you mentioned, it's so true. It's like you clear some mistakes and then you just create new ones. It's like, okay, I stopped saying but then I'm playing with my hair the whole time. So it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
So
interesting.
definitely that's true.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm curious to hear what other people's, feedback are on this. And I'll probably ask the question a lot. Where is that point, right, where re-recording becomes pointless?
Right, yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
2 videos, 3 videos, 5 videos? I don't know. Because there certainly is some
Yeah.
value early on, especially as you're getting started with video, right, to recording a few times. But you certainly don't want to do it
Well,
50,000 times.
I think for myself, it's more like getting comfortable and being okay with what you sound like and what you look like. Because that was a big deal in the front. I'm like, oh my God, that's the way I sound. Oh, I say those words like this, So once I got past that, and I'm like, okay, it's getting a little easier now.
You mentioned that, perfectionism is something that really held you back from using more video, and I think that's true for a lot of people. And honestly, I've even
Definitely.
felt that myself as I'm getting started with this new Ngari project of like trying to make sure it's all perfect. Why do you think it's so important for you that everything is perfect? Like, what's that self-talk sound like that's running through your head that makes you want to make things perfect?
That makes you want to do things. I mean, it's just that fear, you see all those comments on social media or whatever it might be, and then you see how they like tear people down. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my God, that could be me.
Yep.
And so that pretty much, just the fear of, when we make phone calls, is the fear of rejection. When we put ourselves on video, it's like the fear of being judged. So
Yeah.
we still have to deal with something.
And are you thinking mostly that the recipient of the video in like an email is who you're worried about judging you, or do you feel this more when you're doing mass sends or more when you're doing individual sends?
Mm-hmm. When I'm doing individual sends, it's more like just want to make sure that that I'm saying the right thing for whatever situation it might be. But when I'm posting something or I'm doing like a mass, I just feel like the recipient, I just don't want them to just the way I look. I mean, I'm supposed to be like this professional person, and sometimes it's like I'm like stuttering over here, so that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm serious. It's like I still, deal with that, but no, it just gets better when you start doing videos all the time. It's like it's okay. They know I'm human. They know I don't have to be perfect.
Do you think that maybe part of the discomfort for you is that the vision you have of yourself and who you are and the way you want people to perceive
Totally.
you is not the person who's sitting there in the video camera being played back to you? Is there a
Oh my
mismatch
gosh,
there?
totally. Because I'm thinking, totally agree with that. Mainly because I worked at an area on the west side where all the influential people are there,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, how can I say? And it just seems like I have to be that person, and totally when I see myself, like you said, when I see myself on video and everything, I'm like, that's not who I want to portray or something. I want to be an influential, but that's not who I am right now.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully this question makes sense, but that mismatch, do you perceive it as I am actually not one of those people, and if I send a video, they're going to realize that I'm not actually that? Or is it I
Right.
am actually that, but I don't appear that way in a video? People get the wrong impression of me.
And I will take A.
That's more of it?
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
like, yeah, definitely. Because I'm like, I'm not, an influential. I'm not that person, but yeah.
Interesting.
Like yeah. See, I'm at a loss for words now.
Yeah. I've heard that feeling described before as imposter syndrome. Are you familiar with that that phrase?
No. Wow.
Oh, so imposter syndrome is a real thing that a lot of people struggle with, myself included. And I don't know if I have the
Mhm.
perfect definition of it. But basically, you feel like
Yeah.
you aren't who you're pretending to be. You aren't who you want people to think you are. A lot of times, even people who legitimately have accomplishments look at those accomplishments and downplay them as, oh, that's not a big deal. And this
Yeah.
whole idea that, man, I don't want people to find out that I'm not actually,
Right.
this person that I portray myself as. Um, yeah, so that's kind of what you're describing there, right?
I
Where you want to
I
portray yourself as this
actually
influential person, but you feel like when you put your videos out there, you'll be
no,
exposed as,
totally.
oh, she's not.
I'm like, she's really not. Actually, I've heard it in another term, and it's counterfeit.
Yeah, okay, yep,
It's like, so it's like, you don't want to be a counterfeit. So it's
yeah,
like, oh, okay. So that totally makes sense.
yeah. That's interesting. So you think that a lot of the people that you know who aren't willing to get on camera, you think for a lot of them it might not even be a I don't like how I look type of thing. It might be a matter of I don't want people to realize I don't actually have my shit together. Like I want to
You
keep up
know
this
what?
public
That's
persona.
like, I never thought about that, but now like I'm like going through all the people in my mind, and I'm like, yeah, maybe some do. Actually, yeah, until you pointed it out, I really didn't think about it. But now, but that word just counterfeit like totally resonated, because
Yeah.
I've heard it before when it comes to video, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much the way I felt. I mean, do I need some video therapy over here? I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
That's
gosh, they're
interesting.
gonna realize that she doesn't know everything and do everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Um, so on the note of the imposter syndrome, the way I experience imposter syndrome might be a little different than
Mm-hmm.
most people because for me, it's not necessarily a fear of being found out that I'm not actually what I'm pretending to be. For me, I feel like
Okay.
everyone freaking knows that I'm an imposter. I feel like everyone knows that I'm a poser and that I'm way outside my league. Like I'm pretty sure that's common knowledge that I'm way in over my head. So for me, the self-talk, whenever I do something big, like getting more active on video. So a year ago, I started being active on LinkedIn, and I felt this. And now that I'm launching this Ngari project, this YouTube channel, this Facebook community,
Yeah.
I'm feeling this strong. And the self-talk that's going through my head almost at all times is, who do you think you are? Sometimes I'm
Mm-hmm.
asking myself, who do you think you are? Sometimes I'm visualizing everyone around me, my colleagues and my customers and my LinkedIn connections, looking at me going, who does he think he is? Do you think he's some kind of big shot or something? Who the fuck cares what you have to say? What? Who's starting a YouTube channel? Really? You? A YouTube channel? Come on, leave that to the
Right.
people who
Right.
like know what they're doing and have an audience, right? So for you, is there any sort of like repeating phrase, repeating self-talk that was constantly running through your mind as you were getting started on video in the same way there has been for me?
I think that I can totally relate to what you're saying when it comes to my YouTube channel. Because
Okay.
that's what I'm working through right now. And that's why I don't have a video yet because I only have like a review video. But it's like, okay, do you have something important to say? Like, what does anybody want to listen to you versus, another person that has been doing it for a long time? And that's kind of like the conversation that I'm having with myself in regards to YouTube. And that's what I'm working with,
Yeah.
right now. And to me, preparation actually makes me feel more secure, more confident. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to prepare, so I don't feel so lost in that whole YouTube world out
Yeah.
there.
Do you think
Yeah.
at this point you're doing the appropriate amounts of preparing that are necessary, or do you think at this point you're starting to use that preparation as a crutch and an excuse to put off the real work?
Right. I actually analyze that as well. And you know what? As soon as I'm taking action every week, I feel like I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, because
because I just joined that YouTube for agents,
perfect.
and I
Yeah.
thought, okay, this is perfect. This is a community of people that are going to keep me accountable,
Yeah. Yeah.
and support, which is priceless.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that myself as I'm preparing for this Ngari thing. I'm doing a lot of prep work because I want to lay a solid foundation, right? I don't want to start and have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start and
Right.
then
Right.
like, be spinning my tires. But I am cautious of using that preparation as an excuse to put off doing the real work, the uncomfortable work, the vulnerable work, right? Because I can sit there and
Right.
update my channel art for hours at a time and it doesn't feel very
Oh
vulnerable.
my gosh, yeah.
But when I go launch a video and start promoting it, that suddenly feels more vulnerable. So a lot of times I don't know where I am at this point. I think I might still be doing appropriate preparation, but I got to watch myself because I'm not careful. I'm going to move into that, preparation as an excuse.
Well, and you definitely have to, police yourself. And I think I'm actually getting better at that with one of my real estate coaches, Kevin Ward. He says you're not going to learn how to ski by reading how to ski. Yeah. I'm like, dang it. Okay. Like,
what if I watch videos on YouTube? Come on. Yeah.
I know. It's like I can do anything on YouTube. And he's like, learning is a way of procrastination to some people. So I guess I'm more cautious now that not to do that. Yeah. But definitely, yeah.
I've heard Brene Brown, who wrote a book called Daring Greatly. Phenomenal book.
Oh, okay.
It's all about vulnerability and shame and the way we feel that and the way that affects us at work and at life or in life. And one of the things she talks about is how for a lot of people, perfectionism is a form of armor they put on. Basically, they are not willing to make themselves vulnerable to criticism and any of that. So they spend ridiculous amounts of effort making sure everything is perfect. The idea being if everything is absolutely perfect, there's nothing you can criticize me on, so I'm safe. So that perfectionism is a type of armor that they put on to avoid, criticism and vulnerability.
Totally.
Does that resonate with you? Do you feel that?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, when I started real estate, I'm selling my first house, right? And I'm renting an apartment, and that it was just so difficult to feel like a counterfeit, and I'm like, here I am helping people to get into their homes and, go through all that process. And I'm over here renting, this little apartment and I was trying to make sure everything was perfect. So nobody knows, that, Nidia is a renter, it was so, and that caused a lot of, I just wanted everything to be perfect because I didn't want any hiccups.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Feeling vulnerable. Woo.
Do you feel, because you've been using BombBomb for, one-to-one video emails a fair amount, and now you're just trying to get started in the world of video. Do you feel that perfectionism is hitting you harder with YouTube than it did back when you were doing one-to-one videos through BombBomb, or is it about the same experience of perfectionism holding you back?
No, I think I have more grace for myself now.
Okay.
I give myself more grace, definitely. I don't have to be that, perfect or whatever. And, just I've learned to embrace my little quirks, if that's even a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, it's okay. People know that this is the way I talk.
Do you think that comfort with yourself and with your quirks and kind of willingness to show up authentically as you are, do you think that's just a natural side effect of your career and getting older, or do you think that's actually a side effect of the work you've done with video emails and sending out video emails through BombBomb?
I honestly have to say it's a combination because, obviously I have my trainer over here, cheerleading and making we're forced to build our confidence, but also by utilizing video. It just goes hand in hand. So that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And in regards to BombBomb, it's nice to see that you put something out there and people actually want to see it, Whether in YouTube, it's like you put a video, it's like you don't know if somebody's going to see it. You're hoping to get some likes and some subscribers. But so I guess, building up to it. I don't think I would have started with YouTube without doing BombBomb first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
If that makes sense, yeah.
And I've heard that kind of pattern from other people before, not always in so many words, but the process of getting more confidence, the process of becoming more comfortable with yourself that you go through with simple video emails helps you to do larger video things.
It's weird that not a lot of people are willing to put themselves out there. People that I feel are confident and people that I feel like deserve to be heard. So definitely just knowing that kind of gives me a little more confidence to just, keep doing it, because not everybody even, we're almost 2020 and not a lot of people are doing that as I had expected.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are doing video.
Are there people that you know who you really think have something valuable and important to say and you'd love to see them do more on video?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of my real estate partners and loan officers and, like I mentioned, like even my referral partners all over the U.S. I just wish that I can share their stuff and, with my sphere, but I need them to get on video.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to convince them.
Yeah. But
Definitely.
you said they're hesitant. They don't feel like they have anything to say. They don't feel like anyone wants to see them.
They're still, hesitant. No. I mean, I'm trying to give them a reason. It's like, look, you live in Dallas-Fort Worth. You know how many people have moved to Dallas-Fort Worth from California? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's like, if you Google that, I'm sending them links. It's like, if this person can do a video, you can do a video, that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
So I actually got one guy out of maybe 4 or 5. Actually, one guy to join me on the YouTube for real estate agents.
Yeah,
so we're gonna try to partner up and do it together.
That's awesome.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, well, and that accountability to
great.
be, and that accountability to be working with someone is so great. You guys can learn together. Even sometimes just having that public commitment of having told someone, I'm going to do this, you almost feel some kind of embarrassment if you don't do that, right? Like you're letting someone down.
Yeah.
I've actually used that a commitment mechanism in myself a few times when I felt like there was something I was about to tackle and I was like, I could tell part of me wanted to find an excuse to bail and put it off and to not do it. I just went ahead, found a coworker or a friend and said, hey, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing this. So then you got that public commitment and then you're like, oh, shoot, no, I gotta. So I've used that before. It's a commitment device.
And it works.
Yeah.
So, for myself, it totally works.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a few, I have like 3, maybe, oh my gosh. 3 people that I talk to. One is like the video guy that I told you about. And then I have another prospecting, gal that I tell her what I'm going to do every day. And we keep each other accountable. So all those accountability partners that work.
That's awesome. So you mentioned there's people out there that you see them and you think to yourself, it'd be so cool if they were using video. I'd love to hear what they'd have to say. I bet you they'd have a unique take. Do you think there's people out there who look at you and think the same thing?
Not really.
I don't know if I don't think that makes much logical sense, Nidia.
I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? I never thought about that.
I would say it's logical to assume there are.
I'm working through my therapy right now, John.
Well,
it's like, okay.
Well, part of the reason I'm doing what I'm doing with Ngari right now is that the more I've worked with my customers at BombBomb, I've realized just how deep this stuff goes. Like, it's not as simple as, oh yeah, you'll get used to it, just do it, don't rewatch your videos. Like, we talked about when you feel inside, like the person you present yourself to the world professionally is not the real you and you're just an imposter. Using a video isn't about, I don't like the way my makeup looks today. Using a video is about, I don't really believe I have as much value as I pretend I do. And I feel like if I use a video, that's going to become obvious to the world. And that is a big issue to tackle right there. And people have no help in tackling this. Basically, the advice you get out there from everyone out there, as well-intentioned as they are, is just do it. You look the way you look, the sound the way you sound. Just do it. You'll get over it. And that's not wrong by any means. But I feel like there's more that people need to work through some of this stuff. So that's why I'm creating this channel, why I'm interviewing you.
It's totally video therapy. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something kind of like my real estate coach had mentioned. And he's talking to us and I'm over here like, just cleaning my tears because it's like, if he says, if you don't think you have anything valuable to say, then how do you expect other people to think that, you know?
Yeah.
And working through that, and why is it that you're not doing video? Why is it that you don't want to put yourself out there? You know, it's like such a mental thing.
Yeah.
And you're right in that it's not just about, okay, I'm going to do a video now, doing the camera. You know, I mean, not if you're going to do it consistent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to eat up too much of your time, so I'll kind of wrap up a couple
it's
questions
getting
here.
dark over here, so I'm like, I'm sorry I don't have my light. Everything's getting blurry.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up a few questions here. So
Sure.
what I'd love for you to do is share to anyone listening here is that what are some specific action items you took, physical actions you took when you were getting started on video and that you still use today to help you get more comfortable, more confident on camera? And then second question to go alongside with that is, what is some of the self-talk, some of the mental strategies, right? Some of the things that you told yourself to help you get more comfortable, more confident on camera?
All right, so the steps. I think everything boils down to just giving myself some grace and knowing that I don't have to be perfect. And to me, that was a big thing. And strategies and self-talks that I do now. Good question, John. Let's see. I think just what I'm doing, developing this YouTube channel, the strategy is believe that I do have something valuable to say. So other people can actually believe my own conviction, you know. And I think that was big for me as well.
Yeah.
Because I was always so scared, like, well, what do they want to know, you know? But no, you know, and I be okay with having a voice and believe that it is important. And people deserve to hear me. Come on.
Yeah. All right. What is some of the advice you find yourself dishing out on a regular basis to your friends and colleagues who are hesitant to get on camera?
Oh my gosh. That the sooner you start, the sooner you get comfortable. And then the sooner that you can actually reap the benefits of connecting with people via video. I do have to share that I've made a couple of referrals out of the country, one to Guam, one to Idaho, another one to Texas. I mean, just different. And connect and looking at someone's videos and social media was priceless. To get to know their personality, get to know, and right away, I mean, I don't even know if this lady knows how to sell. I just know it's like, oh my God, I want to give her my money. She's so cool. And I think that she would be a good fit. And seeing that power, social media, just experiencing that firsthand myself, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. So that's one of the things and that's one of the examples that I use with some of my my agent friends, because I'm like, people are trying to find you. They just need to know you. And at this point, just a name is just not enough in this world.